Okay, this is a pick a card reading for connections that are currently not in contact. So reading number 1 is going to be repped by Shadow. Okay, Shadow. Then reading number 2 is repped by Hello Kitty. Meow. And reading number 3 is repped by Eevee, the Pokemon. Period. So tap in, pick your fighter, and let's get into your reading. Okay, if you chose my boy Shadow, then this is your reading. Okay, reading number 1. What is up with their no contact situation, connection? Let's get an overall vibe of what it's giving so that hopefully right away you can recognize if this is your pile, or if it's not resonating, then go ahead and choose a different one. What is up with pile number 1's no contact situation? What is the energy? What is up with pile number 1's no contact situation? What's it giving? 10 of Swords, conclusions. So that definitely reaffirms that this is currently in a space where it feels like an ending took place, whether that was a breakup or whatever shifted that made y'all no longer in contact. It feels like with it being 10 of Swords, this came from a space of like logic and rationalization, as opposed to like what someone's emotions or feelings are guiding them towards. Because Swords is all about the brain and like kind of the mental. It feels like there was a mental block. Ace of Wands in reverse, new beginnings. So there is like a passionate new beginning that wants to come through, but it's in reverse because it's like there's definitely energies that are standing in the way of that, but that seems to be what the desire is on this person's end. And there's a lot of, with it being the Wands, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of chemistry. I feel like that aspect of the connection is undeniable. It's like there's a lot of sexual energy, there's a lot of just like, yeah, raw, passionate, let's see, King of Wands, passion. I can't make this shit up. But it came out in reverse again. I don't always read reversals, but with this reading, I'm feeling it. I feel like this person is very aware of how, it's like the passion can't be overlooked. The like, it's a juicy connection, and it's like, it's more than enough fuel for a new beginning to happen, and there's more than enough desire for it, but still we're trying to figure out what's blocking it, why like the other person is showing up in the reverse with all this energy. We got 9 of Pentacles, comfort. So off of this, I'm getting that I think this connection grew to a depth that made this person feel like really unstable for whatever reason, and very like it became so real, and the depth of it caused a lot of challenge and need for stepping out of comfort zone and really being fully present with all the energies and emotions and everything that comes up in a deep connection like that. And I feel like this person is like, they withdrew into their comfort zone and they are having trouble feeling the strength and courage and bravery to fully embrace the unknown, which is like deep love. And It's scary. It's difficult to be vulnerable. Like, it's something that I feel like this person thinks they have to be in a certain space to like have the capacity for that, and they don't feel comfortable enough, they don't feel stable enough at the current moment to embrace that. Let's keep going. This wanted to fly out. Page of Swords, education. I feel like with the Page of Swords, I feel like you have a very different perspective on this than this person does, and I feel like you have a more gentler and wise kind of perspective of this situation, where you're able to kind of hold it loosely and like trust the flow of it, whereas this other person is like, they want to feel the security, they want to feel comfortable. The Fool, change. There is a real desire to like create this new beginning with you and to just surrender to it and be the Fool and just like go into it, but they're really like, they don't want to give up their comfort zone, they don't want to give up any sense of like control or stability. We have the Moon and Nine of Wands, fear. Fear and misinterpretation. Those go really well together. I feel like, I mean, it is human nature to want to have some sense of control or ability to predict a situation. Like, it is difficult to go into the unknown. And I feel like in the beginning of this connection, this person was way more like, I feel like maybe they were the one pursuing you and they were like super into it and like fearless about it. And then as the depth of the connection really set in and things just got like they were no longer able to control what, or even fully understand what they were experiencing and feeling with you. And I feel like they almost got like incapacitated by this depth, and they're having a lot of fear in moving forward. And then we got Nine of Swords, trauma. So I feel like this is connected to past trauma with them. It could be with past romantic relationships, but it doesn't have to be. It could even be like family relationships, or just like everyone's different. Everyone has different traumas that affect them differently and like literally rewire your brain. And I feel like this person is definitely like, the alarms are going off whenever they like got so deep into this, and they're like, wait, how deep does this go? Like, am I going to get like, is this gonna fuck me over in the end? And like, I don't have any ability. It's like the more the momentum was building, the more they were like, I couldn't stop this if I tried, if I let it go even deeper. So they just like went ahead and like tried to prevent it from going deeper. But it's at both of y'all's expense. It's a loss on both ends for them to do that. Let's keep going. Six of Pentacles, kindness. I feel like they also, like, they see such kindness and purity within you, and it's reflected that within them as well. Like, I feel like they didn't even know, like, I feel like they had a certain view of themselves prior to meeting you that was one of, like, just not their highest version. And then, like, through your energy, it reflected a higher version of them that they really liked and really enjoyed. But I feel like part of them still has those, still carries that past version that they feel like wasn't fully, I feel like they're a little bit stuck in their past perceptions of themselves, and they have feelings come up of like, oh, like pile one doesn't really deserve me. Like if pile one knew everything that I've done, or just like the person, my full like all the versions of them, they feel like you wouldn't, I don't even think, because they like feel your kindness on such a deep level, I don't even think it's that they don't think you would accept them, but I feel like deep down they just don't feel that they match you in that way. They feel like you're too good for them in certain ways. And yeah, it's definitely giving these like energies of imposter syndrome and like having trouble really seeing that your kindness and your light is a reflection of their kindness and their light. They're so focused on your kindness and your light that they just feel like not enough. I didn't even peep this while I was yapping. 5 of Pentacles, insecurity. They're experiencing a lot of insecurity, like through your reflection. It's like they are so in awe of your energy and what you bring to the table and like all the goodness that you embody, that they feel like inferior in front of that. I feel like that's coming back to like how they didn't want to step out of their comfort zone. I think it was like not only did they feel they couldn't control their emotions and like have like control over like if they end up getting hurt or not, but they also like felt like it was very uncomfortable to like continually face your reflections, especially as the reflections got deeper and more real and more emotional and more passionate, and like it just was like a snowball that they were like, I'm not gonna be able to stop it. Queen of Cups, empathy. I feel like you are such an empathetic person, and they really like, they see you as such a emotionally, like you have so much emotional capacity and depth to you, and like you show no fear. Like you are not scared of your emotions. You're not scared to be vulnerable, and that really intimidates them because they are scared of that and they do have difficulty with that. And it's one of those things where it's like they have their strong suits that you don't match them in, and vice versa, but they're so focused on all of your strength and all of your like the ways that you are more capable than them. And it's like I feel like that's meant for like, that's a way that they're going to be able to grow over time if they would continue this connection and like find comfort in the discomfort, but they're just like already so scared of it. Like they're already like feeling so halted by it. Wow, we got three of Wands, communication. 10 of Wands, burdens. Ace of Pentacles, growth. I can't make this shit up. Knight of Pentacles, trust. So these are the energies that they're moving towards. Like the energies I've described so far is like what the past and present has been. This is more future energy or upcoming energy. I feel like they really want to communicate with you. They really want to break this silence. They want to break the no contact. And it's from a very strong space of like passion and calling. They are still feeling these burdens of like all the ways that they haven't felt fully able to show up and what's been holding them back. It's like those did not disappear overnight, but they're growing. They're growing with the Ace of Pentacles into a new space, like a new sense of self and a new like perspective of themselves. And with Knight of Pentacles, and it says trust on it, they're learning to trust that they're not meant to have full control. They're not meant to like be able to predict, and they're not meant to be able to control love. That's not what love is at the meat of it. And I feel like they're surrendering to that, and they're, especially because of like being in no contact with you has made them really feel and experience like what it's like to proceed without those reflections. And I think they're really seeing the value of the reflections that you were offering to them just by being yourself and showing up in vulnerability and like emotional depth and capacity. And they really, they aspire to match that, and I think they're starting to feel more confidence in like the potential that they could if they like allow themselves to be patient through that process and through their connection with you. But I mean, it is like such a shift in energy that just came out, but I feel like with the 10 of Wands, it wanted to reiterate like it's still difficult. They didn't like go through like a full transformation where that's not gonna be a burden to them anymore. Like they're still gonna struggle, but I think they're just like finding more trust in the struggle and like really really embodying that this is growing them, and they're seeing the value in that. I want to go in with the animal spirit deck, and let's get like a relationship spread to see this connection from more of a bird's eye view. What is the relationship dynamic between pile 1 and this person that they're in a no contact situation with? I'm gonna get illuminated dynamic, shadow dynamic, central energy, them and you. What is the dynamic between pile 1 and this person they're not in contact with? What are the vibes? What's the energy? What's it looking like? What's the energy between pile number 1 and the person? You see if this is the right number of cards. Central, illuminated, Shaman, them, you. Okay. The central energy is the stingray, which is super like, okay, this is like where and this is the central energy, so this is for like the connection at large. It's not just them and it's not just you, but the connection is in a space where it's needing to choose a path between the comfortability that I was speaking about, where like it's familiar, it's comfortable, it's predictable, it's like gives someone a false sense of control, but we don't ever have control over life. That's not how this shit works. But so I feel like that's the space that the connection is currently in. Like it could go one way or another. It's very in between at the moment, but it's like becoming clear what the choice is, and it's about like familiar and comfortability versus uncomfortability and the unknown, and going towards that which makes you scared, but it feels purposeful. It feels like there's merit and value in the uncomfortable path. So I feel like that's what y'all are both feeling and experiencing at this time. The illuminated dynamic is the frog, which is an energy where the situation, and this is illuminated, so this is like the most like obvious energy. This is the most like present way forward. Is the situation is needing cleansing, it's needing rejuvenation, it needs to be like, I feel like the past energies need to be cleared away. And this makes me feel like this present no contact era is actually very divinely purposeful and necessary, because I feel like, you know, like the situation needed to be broken apart and uprooted before the new seed can be planted. And I feel like this is where the cleansing is taking place, is in this current silence. And yeah, I feel like y'all both just need that time and space to be fully present with yourself and have those realizations and like choices that you need to make for yourself of like, what do I truly want? What do I truly need? Where are my boundaries? What do I see myself gaining from this connection? What do I see myself losing from not being in this connection? And like really having those spaces to just like be patient with yourself and really feel out how you feel and them feel out how they feel. And yeah, get that cleanse going. The shadow dynamic is the whale, which like the shadow is, this is like the energy that's kind of in the depths of the connection. It's not so obviously apparent like from a surface level, but it's very much influencing the connection. And the whale is like the deepest depths you can go emotionally. Like emotions are so deep in this situation, and like I feel like it is like it's gotten to that space where it does command so much vulnerability, which like I gotta like give it to this person. That is mad scary, and that is like it's at a next level where like I feel like even to break this no contact era is also, it would demand so much vulnerability and so much surrender to really deep dark emotions. And I feel like it feels kind of like a weighted, there's weight to this vulnerability, there's weight to this emotions, and it's a lot to carry. And I feel like especially in the no contact zone, it feels really heavy because it's like I think either one or both of y'all have tried to just let it go and move past it and like, yeah, let it be what it is, but it's like you still feel it so deep or even deeper because you've like tried to turn away from it. So yeah, this is mad deep, this is real. They're showing up as the swan, which is a energy of being in solo self-reflection. So I feel like this person is really taking their time to reflect on their thoughts and feelings around this. And I think I love to see this because like with such deep emotions, like a person can either make the stronger choice and sit with it and reflect on it and like, you know, feel their way through, or they could distract and numb and run away as hard as they can, you know, which is, in my opinion, generally the unhealthier option. No matter how they proceed, like to be present with your emotions is very difficult, but it can be very transformative and healing and helpful. So I feel like this person is going into that path of it and really taking their time to sit with what they're experiencing and have that self-reflection. You're showing up as the golden egg, which is a spirit card. It's the more rare element of the deck, and this is just like such pure love. Like you're embodying such a like, there's no better word than pure. Like it's so bright and authentic and true and just present. Like you're as present as you can possibly be with your love for this situation. And I think that's so beautiful. And like it feels like you're truly backed by the universe with this, and by God or your angels or whatever you want to call all of the energies. It's like you're very tapped in. You're very tapped into like this universal feeling of love, and you're able to show up to this connection with patience and compassion because you're so tapped into that love. So keep yourself tapped in. This is that breed of love that like I feel like you're in a space where you can channel it at any time that you need it, and it can be so helpful to call upon in times where you feel fear or sadness or any like negative energies that have the potential to like spiral you downward. I feel like you're able to call upon this energy and channel it and just be present in it, and that is so powerful. And definitely keep utilizing that for yourself and just like embodying it. And this is like, I feel like you can get through anything if you have access to this breed of love and self-love and just like Yeah, it's really beautiful. Okay, I want to go in with the Whispers of Love Oracle deck. And let's see what the angels got to say. Oh yeah, I have to do it this way. What messages do we have for pile 1 regarding this no contact situation? What advice or messages or guidance do we have for pile 1 in this no contact situation? Treasure your loved ones. It is important to love others deeply. Slow down, pause, and allow things to unfold. I feel like you really got this because, like, especially with your golden egg energy that you showed out as, like, I feel like you have such a deep love and consideration for this situation, and I feel like you truly are able to see, especially when you popped out as the Queen of Cups and, like, with your empathy, like, I feel like you're really able to see all perspectives of this situation, which truly serves to your advantage because it allows you to have a certain, like, I don't know if the word is like removal or like disconnect, because you are so connected, but it's like you're able to see it from kind of like, you don't take it personally, you don't take it as like any deficit to their love for you or the connection that y'all share. I feel like you know that and feel it so deeply that it's like, that's undeniable, that's like immovable, but you're able to like hold the connection itself with such a gentle, all-seeing type of lens that like allows you to really tap into this slowing down and patience and trust and just knowing that like this is going to unfold in the best way for me ultimately, and in the best way for the connection, whatever that ends up looking like. And you truly just want the best for yourself and for this other person. And I feel like you're really tapping into your self-love above all else. And like, because you have such that like strong sense of self and self-love, you're able to like, you're not gripping the situation so tightly, which would honestly only make the connection slow down even more and separate and disconnect even more. You're able to just like feel through it loosely and in a way of like prioritizing yourself first. And I feel like that's exactly what you should be doing. But like, yeah, you're so present with your love for the other person through this. Like, you're not condemning them, you're not like looking down upon them because they've pulled away. I feel like you are ultimately very understanding of like the energies that led to this no contact, and you're embracing it for what it is and loving it for what it is, because this is all part of a story. And I feel like you're just like, you're able to really see it from that bird's eye view, which is helping you so much and also helping the other person so much, and that they're able to like, you're not like pressuring them, you're not like clinging on to them. And yeah, I feel like that's really powerful and definitely the way to go. I want to get one concluding oracle card. Let's go in with the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck. This is going to be our concluding energy. What is our concluding message for pile number 1? This one to come out, but I want to get more. The wall, obstacles. Okay, let me sit with that while I get your other one, because I knew that I wanted another one. The wall, obstacles. It reminds me of how, like, even when, remember that new set of energies came out where this person was like learning to trust, they were growing, they wanted to communicate after like showing all the past and present energies, but it still came out with, what was it? I think it was the 10 of Wands, where like there's still burdens. And with the wall coming out, obstacles, it's like, it's kind of, I feel like it's promoting the mindset going forward of like, don't expect this to proceed with no conflict, with no obstacles. Like, these obstacles and conflicts and like energies that are getting in the way and making things difficult are very much purposeful divinely, because those are your opportunities to grow and to deepen the connection. And like, when you're able to proceed with the lens of like, I expect obstacles to happen, I expect these conflicts to come up, and I greet them with like an embraceful energy of like knowing that it is for the upgrade to happen, and the upgrade can't happen without the wall, without the obstacles. That's such a powerful frame and mode to move through the energies, as opposed to being like, oh no, like conflicts aren't supposed to happen, this connection shouldn't continue. Like, you feel me? Like, you're missing the whole growth that could be reaped by going from that perspective. And so I feel like with the wall coming out, it's like, it's a reminder to embrace the obstacles that come up and to be patient with them, and to like greet them with the knowing that they're as important as all the good stuff too. Vanishing mirror, ego sublimation. I feel like this is really what this other person is needing to experience and fully transform through, is their ego is being transformed. And all of those feelings that they were having of not feeling good enough in the face of your light and being so intimidated by that, I feel like they're growing, they're really transforming their sense of self and their perception of themselves to just like view themselves as human. View the both of you as human, and people that are constantly transforming, are constantly releasing and also gaining new strengths. And yeah, I feel like this is something that you really need to be patient and allow this person to fully go through, and know that on the other side, they're going to be so much better equipped to match this connection and to really like pull up present and fully the highest version that they can be in that moment. So give them the space and time to do this. I really think you got like, you have your internal resources that you need to be slow and patient through this time, and really like focusing on yourself and trust. Just lean into your trust with this situation and this connection, and knowing that the best is going to unfold for the both of y'all. All right, that's what I got for you, pile number 1. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to. Also, if you have like a specific question or theme you want to see a pick a card reading about, feel free to comment that down below. All right, peace out, y'all. What's up, pile number 2? If you chose Hello Kitty, this is your reading. Let's go ahead with tarot and see what the vibes are doing. What is the energy for reading number 2 and the no contact situation? These two already flew out. The Moon, misinterpretation, and Knight of Pentacles, comfort. I feel like with this situation, with the Moon, there was some, like, how it says misinterpretation, I feel like there was, some of the energies were misunderstood or misinterpreted. It's like things looked one way, but they were actually another energetically. The full story isn't able to be told from the physical eye. And with the Nine of Pentacles, comfort, I feel like I have an idea, but I want to get some clarification around that card actually. Spirit, please clarify the Nine of Pentacles. Ace of Swords, understanding. That's so funny, like we're following misinterpretation with understanding. I feel like with the Nine of Pentacles, I feel like through reflection, this other person is starting to grasp, like they're getting a better understanding of what actually took place and what actually transpired. And it's bringing them a sense of comfort and a sense of like, okay, maybe things weren't exactly how they seemed. Maybe things weren't exactly the way I thought it was. And that feels good to them. Whatever they thought shit was like very scary and uncomfortable and made them ultimately want to move away from this situation. But yeah, I feel like they're finding a new perspective on things that's really transforming the way they interact with the energies and see the energies. We have the High Priestess, inner voice. I feel like this situation needed the no contact era to take place for y'all to have this self-reflection, this stillness, this space and time to really see how the energies are actually unfolding and presenting themselves. And it was like only through this like quiet and stillness that those like the inner voice could come through and the intuitive senses. And I feel like this feels like mirrored on both ends. Like I feel like both of y'all had kind of inaccurate and distorted version of the energies and what was taking place, and through this no contact you're able to truly like feel intuitively like, I don't think shit was exactly what I thought it was. And it definitely feels comforting and like reassuring to have that realization. The Chariot, progress. So with this card, I feel like just trust that the energies in like the energetic realms are moving this connection. Like so much is taking place in the spiritual realm that you can't see with the physical eye, and trust that as much as your energy is like feeling pulls towards this, the universe is moving things around to have those energies meet you in the middle. And things are definitely progressing, things are definitely moving. And I feel like this card especially comes up when it's not apparent that the energies are moving in the physical realm, but it's like a very strong message of trust that shit is moving energetically OD. And I feel like you can really feel that, especially with the High Priestess energy. Like I feel like from this space of stillness that y'all have found and the no contact, like it's allowing your inner voice to be really loud, and you're able to like feel the energies in a more heightened way. It's like how a blind person can like hear really well, or like have very like, you know, their other senses are heightened because one is taken away. It's like because y'all aren't in physical contact and like it's not a lot of physical energy that's kind of like muddying the waters, you're able to feel the energy mad clear. Like it feels, definitely trust your intuition is a big message. Like if you're feeling something, trust that. And I feel like y'all are very like telepathically linked at this time. Page of Pentacles, prospects. I feel like this is saying that like all these energetic like energies are manifesting into the physical realm. It's happening in like, it feels like a very gentle way. I want to get some more around that. Like I feel like the energies are definitely taking their time, and I think that is definitely for the best. Let's get some more. It feels like a reminder also that you got options, and like embodying that energy of like, it's kind of giving like Nine of Pentacles, where it's like you have all that you need, and really being able to embody that puts you in such a magnetic space where it's like, I truly, like, I don't need to cling on to what isn't coming towards me, because I already have enough. And that makes you very attractive and very magnetic and very desirable. And I feel like those are the energies to really embody at this time, to fully like magnetize your highest good into you, and to like let these energies truly flow like effortlessly. And with the Wheel of Fortune, karma, it's definitely like, shit is really moving, bro, like in the energetic realms. Like, they really want you to know that, like, even though you can't see it, you can feel it and trust that. And as much as you're moving towards it, it's moving towards you, and things are definitely shifting. And with karma on this card, I feel like this is perhaps someone that you've known in past lives and stuff. And like, if you can feel that the energy is unfinished, that's because it is unfinished. And it feels like there's a lot of lessons that your souls are meant to learn together, and this is definitely part of that. It's like these past life connections that have a lot of energies that are always trying to find balance, it manifests in so many ways, shapes, and forms, and it can go in so many directions, and up and down, and disconnect and reconnect, and it's like really like having to trust the process. 6 of Cups, past. I do feel like the history between y'all, both in this lifetime and past lifetimes that I'm getting, is very like, is very relevant to like all the depth that you feel around this. I feel like both of y'all experience these moments of like, how is this so deep? Like, it feels deeper than what logically makes sense, and it's because there's a lot of past lives present and influencing the energies and your emotions. It feels like very heavy emotions at times, and I feel like that's some of where this misinterpretation took place, because it's like, with so much emotional depth that isn't all even like tied to this present lifetime, it can get very confusing. And I feel like it's also a very vulnerable space to be in, where you're feeling so deeply and your emotions are so exposed and influencing you. And I feel like that kind of is like the golden recipe to allow people to jump to conclusions and to assume that like they're not safe in this situation, or things are too good to be true, or like, you know, it causes a lot of room for disclarity. So I feel like that is something definitely to take into account and consideration, is that like, there's a lot of uncharted emotions here that like you can't even account for in this present life, and that can be confusing. So just allow yourself to like flow through everything intuitively, and not let yourself get so confused in the emotions of it, which is easier said than done. But let's see. 4 of Swords, recuperation. I feel like there's definitely healing happening like around this misunderstanding, and I definitely think it's just a matter of like, time heals all wounds. Like, I think this is really needing some time and space right now, and a lot of trust, and especially with all like the Chariot and the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like there's such specific message around like, don't feel, I feel like someone really needs to hear like they're putting a lot of responsibility of the connection on themselves, and I'm here to tell you like, you don't need to do that. You're not responsible for this connection, and the universe has its best interest in mind, and is like moving and can do so much more than you are able to do right now. Like, what you're able to do is tap into your inner voice and trust and embody this like the Page of Pentacles, where you're like, you got options, you have a strong sense of self, like what's meant for you will come to you, and let the rest like magnetize into you and unfold naturally in the way that the energies need to balance themselves out. Because I feel like the more hands-off you can be, the more that can flow and happen just like the way that it genuinely needs to, in a way that would be balanced and of best interest to both you and this other person and the connection at large. So really trust that energies are moving, even if it looks, especially because it looks like things aren't moving. Trust what you're feeling, and that the knowing that you have that energies are in fact moving. Two of Pentacles, balance. That's what I'm saying. Like this is needing balance that can happen much better like from a cosmic perspective than from a human one. And I feel like you're in like a space where you're feeling like there's either one path or another, and you're trying to make a choice, but like neither feels clear. And this is saying like trust that there's like a completely alternate path that will unfold naturally in a way that you would not be able to even imagine or predict or like make happen yourself. And so that's why like there's such an emphasis on flowing through things moment by moment right now, and don't like make a harsh choice where it doesn't feel like 110% like duh, I definitely want to do this. Like don't force that decision because there's an alternate path that's unfolding naturally. Judgment, action, and Two of Swords, crossroads. There's so like I'm so dead that we got Two of Pentacles and Two of Swords. Like I feel like both you and them are kind of at this like crossroads energy, and like feeling a need to force a decision, and I don't think that's the way to go. I think just continuing to turn inwards and trust and feel through moment by moment. Action will happen. Action is like inevitable here. Change is inevitable. It's something that needs the time and space to like flow through, and trust. You will feel that green light and like that crystal clear vision when it is time to take action. And until you feel that, don't take action. That's the lit up message. Like until you feel that green light, bitch, stay in yellow. Like you is like flowing moment by moment at your own pace, in your own rhythm, and that's how you are meant to proceed through this. And let the universe, let the cosmic energies and the angels and all of that do their bidding. Like they got this. They are very present with this, and they did not forget about you. They did not forget about the connection. Like it's all unfolding the way it's meant to. I'm gonna get a Whispers of Love oracle card. Let's get a, do we have any guidance, specific messages for pile 2 regarding this no contact situation? What's the energy? What messages do we have for pile 2 in their no contact situation? What do we got for pile number 2 in their no contact situation? Miracles and blessings. Everything has its gift. I like, it's such strong messages of like, bro, take your hands off of this. The universe has it. Like, let this happen in the most miraculous way. Like, I'm getting just like a specific message. Like if someone is like wanting to break this no contact themselves and like send like a meaningless kind of text just to like send something, like because you're so eager and like you're feeling so much, it's like don't do that. Like let this unfold in a way that's truly like magical and divine and beautiful, and like it's just like I feel like this can happen in such a miraculous way that would make this story and this connection like so much deeper and more beautiful if you can just trust it and allow it and like not try to take so much control over it. Just release that shit. Let it unfold. Miracles do happen. Life be crazy, bro. Like crazy shit be happening. And when you're having those feelings of like, oh, like this would never happen, like I don't know what's gonna happen, but trust that crazier has happened than whatever you're convincing yourself could never happen. You know, like if it's meant to happen, if life wants it to happen, it will happen. And you don't even have to do nothing. Like it will happen. So yeah, like let the miracles and blessings unfold the way they're divinely meant to. I'm gonna go in with the animal spirit deck, and we're gonna get a dynamic, like relationship spread, and see what the dynamic is looking like. What is the relationship spread for pile number 2 and their no contact situation? I'm gonna get a central energy, illuminated dynamic, shadow dynamic, them and you. What's it giving? What are the energies between pile 2 and their person that they are in no contact with? This is them to you. We got a lot of like earth, like we got the lamb, deer, and elk out. Very interesting. Okay. So the central energy is the lamb, which is like this situation is calling for like utmost compassion and gentleness and patience, and I feel like that feels so good with what I've been yapping. Like be gentle with this, like be careful with this. This is like special cargo. Like drive slow, like take your time, like don't push, don't press. Like it's just like be easy, be gentle with this, please. Like really I feel like on both ends it's just calling for compassion. At the end of the day, this situation needs compassion, and it brings me back to the initial energies that were coming out, that like something was misinterpreted, something was like misunderstood, miscommunicated. And I feel like the only way to heal that and to work through that is for like put your ego to the back seat and put compassion in the front seat, and like really listen to each other, be present with each other, like hear out the other perspectives without jumping to like ego and protecting the self and feeling like everyone's out to get me, and like, you know, like taking, I feel like that all could be very connected to past traumas, and that's all such real influences. But if you can like find the proper awareness, you're able to not lead from those spaces and jump to conclusions, and just be like open and compassionate with the energy, and really like make effort to feel it out and figure it out, and like, yeah, show up with compassion. The illuminated dynamic is fish, which tells me that there is a very like restless energy at the like surface for both of y'all right now. Like I feel like both of y'all are really wanting to communicate with the other. Y'all are really wanting to like have motion in this connection, where presently like in the physical y'all are in no contact, but it's like you're both feeling the energies so much, and it's like it's producing this very restless feeling, and I'm just like, breathe through it, bro. That's the only way is through. And I feel like the like impulsive, restless energy that this is conjuring is not the energy to lead from, but it's what you're having to like actively work through right now. So like feel it, be present with it, but you know, move slow, move compassionate. Don't like give in to just like saying something just because you feel restless and you want to like know what's up. Like let it unfold. But this is what you are both experiencing right now. There's a lot of like, I want to talk to them, I want to like make shit move. Like breathe through it, breathe through it. The shadow dynamic, I love to see this as the shadow dynamic. This is like the base energy right now that is not like apparent to the physical eye, but it's very like, it's very much shared between the both of y'all at the meat and bones and of this connection. Is the elk, which is, this is like a very like masculine father type of energy, which is to share between both of y'all. It doesn't have to do with gender. It's more about like, you know, when you like envision a very like masculine, divine, sturdy father, like they are, it's an energy of protection, of patience, of reliability, of like long-term commitment. I feel like this is saying that y'all have a very strong foundation energetically, and y'all are both like, y'all are both here for it for the long run, and like y'all are both like deeply invested into this energy. And it's like y'all have the patience to see it unfold. So it definitely reassures, like there's no need to rush here. And it's like a very strong, you have a very strong endurance. You have very strong like mental capacity for the longevity of this connection. And yeah, I feel like y'all both feel a very strong call to protect this energy at all costs, which I think is also an energy that can easily lead to these no contact situations, because it's like if someone feels that things are going in a direction that isn't serving the connection, sometimes that's what makes someone break away, is like to preserve the energy and to preserve the connection until they feel more equipped, or they feel like they know what to do with it. And it's like they didn't, I feel like y'all didn't want to just like press through the, it was like, right, something was misinterpreted, something was misunderstood, and it caused conflict in some way. And I feel like y'all weren't able to move past it in that moment, and y'all weren't able to figure it out in that moment for whatever reasons, like the energies and like your current spaces that y'all were showing up in, like it just was having y'all stuck. And it felt like if y'all just continued through it, it was gonna like, it felt like it would ruin the connection, or it would deteriorate or not serve the connection to just push through. So I feel like this no contact also happened from a space of like wanting to protect the foundation that y'all do have and the connection that y'all do have. And yeah, that's what this energy is giving to me. The other person is showing up as a Scorpion, which I feel like they're feeling a lot of passion. They're feeling, I think, a lot of like sexual energy. Like they're like feeling very aggravated. Like it's like this passion mixed with like frustration, and like maybe in some cases there's anger present. Whether I don't feel it's necessarily anger towards you, but towards the situation, and perhaps towards themselves as well. It's just like, it's very frustrating energy, but it's very fueled at the same time from a space of like their devotion and their passion for the connection itself is what's making the energy so heightened and aggravating to them. And I feel like, again, it's like just breathe through it. Like I feel like they know that this is not energy to like lead from, and they're still in the process of like cooling off and finding their balance in this, and like being able to move through this with a space of like level-headedness. Like they're not really there yet. So that's like how they're showing up currently. I would definitely give them space and time to like work through that on their own and like cool off. You're showing up as the deer, which is like, I feel like you're very nurturing, you're very compassionate, like it feels connected to this lamb energy, and it's like you are also in a very vulnerable space with this, and I feel like there is uncomfortability associated with that space for you, but you're also just like present with it and you're like holding it. And I feel like that makes me want to be like, I'm so proud of you for like standing in your vulnerability even when it doesn't feel good. I feel like you have a feeling of like that's where you need to be, both for yourself and for the other person in this connection, and to best serve the way forward. And yeah, it feels like you are definitely in your like nurturing feminine. When I say feminine, it doesn't have to be associated with gender. It's more about like you're in a receptive space. You're really in that high priestess mode where you're listening to your inner voice, you're listening to your intuitive senses, you're feeling your way through. And I feel like you're really trusting like your angelic protection, your, you know, like you're really connecting with those feminine aspects of yourself and of life and of the universe. And yeah, I feel like that's a really great space for you to be in and to continue to lean into. That feels like a good balanced space for you to be in at this time. All right, I'm gonna do 2 oracle cards to close the reading. First, we're gonna do from the ancestors, messages from the ancestors oracle deck. So let's see, what do the ancestors got to say for pile 2 regarding this no contact situation? What final messages and guidance and reflections? This one always want to come out for these readings, and I feel like it makes a lot of sense. Innocence, purity. I feel like at the basis of this, there is so much innocence and pure, genuine connection here, and that's what I feel like really needs to be emphasized and at the forefront when y'all do come back into contact, if that's the way things move towards, or like even when just considering the situation and whatever was misinterpreted, it's like trust, like intuitively you feel that this connection is pure, it is innocent, it has good intentions. I don't think this person is out to get you by any means, and I think like at a deep level you know that any of those fears are based in like past traumas, and you're purely just trying to protect yourself. But I feel like reminding yourself what you feel at a gut level with this connection is that it is pure and it does have good intentions. And I feel like this is also coming out because this has so much to do with how they see you as well, and what y'all reflect to each other is like this innocent love, this innocent purity. And like it's not even always about the romance or the intimacy, or like it's more just like we are pure souls with good intentions and we match each other in that way, and it's like being able to trust in that. Now let's go in with the Shaman's oracle and let's get our actual concluding message. What is our concluding message for pile number 2 in the no contact connection? What is our concluding message for pile number 2? First breath, begin in his mind. I feel like this connection is really ready for a breath of fresh air and a fresh start and a new beginning. And I feel like if that opportunity unfolds, really allow yourself to release whatever was the history between y'all and whatever was like misinterpreted, and really let it have like a new beginning and a fresh energy. And I feel like that is only possible because of this no contact era, and like how y'all have been able to let the energies release through this space of no contact. And so at the same time, like, that tells me that you should hold some sort of gratitude for this era, because it is like a very divine part of the whole concoction and like everything that needs to unfold for this first breath to be able to take place. And yeah, just really give it the space and openness to let that happen. Alright, that's what I got for you, pile number 2. If you want, like, comment, subscribe. Also, if you have any questions or themes you want to see a pick a card reading about, feel free to comment that down below. Alright, peace out, y'all. What's up, pile number 3? If y'all chose Eevee, this is your reading. Alright, for y'all, I want to start out with the Whispers of Love Oracle deck. So let's get our guiding energy for pile number 3 in this no contact connection. What's the energy? What's the vibes? What's up? What can I tell pile number 3? What messages do we have for pile number 3 in this no contact situation? What message do we have for pile number 3? Turn on your heart light. Reflect on a time when you experienced love. Relationship patterns. It takes strength to recognize the need for change. I feel like this is giving a really big priority on reflecting on what caused this connection to go into no contact and what can you learn from it. That seems like that's the key right now. That's what we need to really look at. So it feels like there was some type of pattern, like based on either your past traumas or this other person's, or maybe it's a mirroring situation and it's reflecting patterns for both of y'all. And it's easy to just like blame the other person or say that this disconnect happened from one thing, but it feels like this is really guiding you to look inward and to take some solo reflection time. Let's get some tarot out and get some more clarification on what patterns caused this disconnect and where we go from there. What patterns are coming up for pile number 3 and their person? What is needing reflection? What is needing change? The Chariot, progress. So this immediately tells me that there is progress being made, especially energetically. I feel like this card comes out more when it's like things are looking very stagnant in the physical realm. And this is saying like trust that as much as like you are making effort and growth and change, this other person is as well, and also the universe is facilitating progress to happen. So it already like is asking like take some pressure off yourself. This connection is not just your responsibility, and you don't need to put that on yourself to make this whole thing happen. So I already feel like this pattern that's coming up, the change that needs to take place, is not all on you, and it's not just you. The Emperor structure. The Lover's decisions. Queen of Cups, empathy. You got some really strong cards that are coming out. I feel like with the Lovers, I definitely feel like y'all are in a divine connection. This connection came together for a divine purpose, and it's very much reflecting things to each other. And so we have the Emperor and we have Queen of Cups, structure and empathy. I feel like for this other person, what's being reflected is this need for control, stability, and like they want to feel like yeah, they have control, they have a sense of like foundation that allows them to feel like they have the ability to predict where it's headed, and yeah, just like wanting a sense of control. And when such deep emotions come up and such deep reflections of themselves come up, they feel out of control and destabilized, and I feel like that is what is making them not want to look at the mirror, which is you and the connection, and they're like turning away from that. But I feel like that's like an initial reaction type of thing from a space of fear, and with the progress being made, they're like re-examining that. And I feel like for you, with Queen of Cups, it's like the most emotion we can have. It's such a deep emotional space with regards to love. And I feel like your reflection that's coming up is about being able to be present with emotions and listen to them and like receive guidance through them without fully always needing to express the full capacity of your emotions or act upon the full capacity of your emotions. It feels like that is asking for like a deeper balance, and even from a space of like self-honoring. Like I'm getting a message of like maybe at one point you felt like to express all of you and all that you were feeling is what it is to be close to someone in a connection or to be like fully yourself, whereas I feel like it has led to messy boundaries and even a dishonoring of yourself, where you felt that that's what it was to honor yourself. It was like out of balance and in some ways at your expense. And I feel like it's asking you to re-examine your boundaries with yourself and how you move through your emotional world and how you take guidance and information from it without letting it get into blurry lines or expressing before you feel clear about what it is you want to express. There's definitely a lot coming up around that. We got 3 of Pentacles, excitement, 9 of Swords, trauma, King of Swords, knowledge, and the Hierophant, guidance. So with 3 of Pentacles, I definitely feel like there's a lot of like the connection itself holds a lot of joyous celebratory energy, and it feels very like exciting, and you just want to like dance with it, move with it, and like go deeper into it. But then like all this trauma came up, which is what these divine connections are meant to do. They are meant to reflect our traumas, which is highly uncomfortable and can often lead to conflicts within the connection. But that needs to happen in order to have our traumas reflected in a space where we can then eventually heal them and process through them and grow through them. But I feel like with the King of Swords coming up, in order for that process to take place, it's asking for a deeper balance within the mind, and this sense of knowledge and wisdom and awareness. Because I feel like with all these traumas coming up, it's like it doesn't always serve us to move so much from a space of logic in those situations, because trauma literally rewires the brain, and the brain is just trying to protect you. It's trying to move forward in a way where you're not going to re-experience that pain and that trauma again. But it can distort things, and it can like reframe your perspective in a way that isn't always the reality of the situation or the best lens to take it. And so I feel like this is asking for a deeper awareness around that. And with the Hierophant coming up, guidance, I feel like there is a more intuitive guidance to lean into, as opposed to just like the logical, intellectual brain mindset around it. So like really taking into account like both the emotional world and the logical world, and just like the energy of all this situation, and of the connection at large, to then move through this feelingly moment by moment. And what I'm seeing is like it's like they'll hold the key for each other, because in the way that this person, like they were so dependent on having a sense of control, and I feel like from a space of rationality, whereas you were falling out of balance with your how you want to move through your emotions. It's like you have a lot to teach them about feeling emotions and interpreting emotions and expressing emotions, and they have a lot to teach you about how to ground yourself and lean into logic where it is helpful too, and just a space of like mental clarity, as opposed to just like reacting from emotional worlds. And so it's like y'all really need each other's mirror here. And yeah, with the Lovers, it's like it says decisions on this card, and there's a moon in the background. Like I feel like there's a lot of currently this connection is in a space of deep unknown, and there's so many different directions it could go in, and I feel like there's an overwhelm happening on both ends of like, where do we go from here? What decision needs to be made? And there is like, I feel like you're a bit more you're a bit more comfortable with the openness of it, and like I think you see a little more like possibility in the unknown of it, whereas this person is feeling more fear come up in the unknown of it. But at the end of the day, it feels open. It does feel like there is space here. I don't think anyone's made like really hard set decisions around this to a point of like, oh, this definitely will come back together, or this definitely cannot come back together. It's like there's a lot of breathing room here. Three of Swords, heartbreak. I definitely feel like this is in a space of like open transformation at this time, and there's a lot that needs to be felt through and grieved here with the heartbreak coming up. And it's just there's so much moon symbolism on all these cards, and it's really emphasizing like the beauty of the unknown, but also like the fear that the unknown is always accompanied with from the human perspective. And I do feel like there's a need to move through this healingly, moment by moment. I'm gonna get a couple more tarot, and then I'm gonna go in with Oracle. Damn, it flew out. We have Six of Swords, movement, and Two of Wands, planning. I'm getting like, it's like I said, there's so much openness, there's a lot of grief, there's a lot of unknown that is being present with. And I do think that needs the time and space to just like breathe and just like be. But on the other side of that, like, you'll know when it's time for movement. And in the meantime, I feel like there's a gentle planning taking place. But always with these like twos, I feel like the main message is like, if you're feeling at a crossroads and like you need to make a decision one way or the other, but ultimately you don't feel clear in which way to go, the guidance seems to always be like, let yourself move through feelingly moment by moment and know that there is an alternate path that can unfold. And your highest path is usually one that you can't even imagine or plan in the current moment. You have to let it happen. It has to like unfold in collaboration with the universe and what energies come up from this other person, and like just letting yourself move through it. But I feel like there is movement happening on the other side of like this stillness, and regardless, change will come. And like having a knowing of that can help you and like allow you to take your time and have patience with this, while also like feeling confident that like your highest good will come. And it doesn't need for you to like force anything. You never want to force anything. Let's get some Shaman's Oracle and see what messages come out here. What messages do we have for pile 3 in this no contact situation? Whale song resonating. I feel like there's really, really deep emotional depth to this connection. And trust it's being felt on both sides. And I feel like that depth of the connection itself is what's creating so much transformation for both of y'all independently through this period of no contact. And I feel like the silence of it is very crucial for this healing and transformation to take place and to get to the other side. And just being present with all the emotions that come up and the whole experience of it all is like very transformative itself for this connection. I'm gonna go on with this animal spirit deck and get like a relationship spread of the overall dynamic and see what all it's giving. We're gonna get a central energy, illuminated dynamic, shadow dynamic, them and you. And this will give a good like bird's eye view of where they're at, where you're at, and like the energies influencing the connection at large. What do we have for pile number 3 in this no contact situation? What do we have for pile number 3 in the no contact situation? Okay. I'm gonna start with the center energy, which, yeah. So the center energy is the octopus. And this is an energy where it's giving what I was talking about with the Queen of Cups, but this is for the, it's not just you. This is the connection. This is like the energy most apparent between the both of y'all currently, and what's like on y'all's mind is this octopus energy, which is like, the octopus has good intentions, but it shares relentlessly, and it feels like by sharing everything, that's what it is to be close to someone, but it results in unhealthy boundaries and messy energies that, like, that's not the intention. It's not from a space of any like malice or ill intent or toxic traits. It's more just like oversharing in a space where like that's not what's helpful to the energy right now. So I definitely feel like there's a very strong guidance to be present in this no contact right now, and don't just share or communicate just to do it from a space of like, I'm yearning, I'm missing, I want to know what the other person is thinking and feeling, I want to know what's up, I want to get more information, and like just kind of that like restless, like I just want to express my truth, I just want to like, and nothing to fault from any of that. Like that's, again, it's, you have good intentions, you have good energy, but the situation presently is calling for like very, what's the word, intentional boundaries, and like moving and communicating from a very intentional, clear space. I feel like the energy is pretty like fragile at the moment and needing this like rest, especially with the shadow dynamic is the frog, which I just feel like at the base of this all, it really just needs to be cleansed. It needs to release the past of this, like the history of the connection. It needs to like release whatever energies were affecting it, and just have this detox, have this cleanse that can truly only happen from this silence at this time, and this no contact and these solo journeys. I feel like y'all are individually on a solo journey at this time. The illuminated dynamic is the lamb, which comes up that like this situation is needing compassion at the forefront of it. It needs like a gentle, patient, compassionate, nurturing energy, and that's the best way y'all can both show up. And I feel like through your silence, it's offering patience, it's offering presence in what is and what the current energies are, and like surrendering to that and allowing that to do what it's doing and heal what it's meant to heal, and just like having that trust that y'all are in this space right now for a reason, and it is divine, and it is intentional, and it is purposeful, and it is ultimately healing the both of y'all and the connection. They are showing up as the lion, which tells me that they are definitely in a era of self-transformation, and they are doing the work that needs to be done right now independently. The lion is like it's someone who values self-transformation and evolution above all else. I feel like this person is definitely not like running away from the lessons that are coming up for them. They're very present with them and doing everything they can to confront them and grow from them and work through them. They're not numbing, they're not running away, they're not like suppressing what they're feeling. They're like using it to their advantage in the best way possible. And I feel like this also like reaffirms how intimately y'all know each other in a space where many people, I feel like the depth that y'all reflect to each other is something that everyone can like sense of you on some level, and like they respect you for that energy that you hold, but they don't know it intimately. And I feel like this is like giving a message of like, it is so special to them how you are able to see them so deeply, and they feel very seen by you, and it's a real recognized real type of thing. It's like because y'all are able to match each other in those like certain capacities, you're able to know each other in an intimate way that is truly like rare for each of y'all to experience with other people, and it is something that they are very conscious of and very grateful for. And you're showing up as the fox, which is like a very strong partner or mate, and you are very like devoted and monogamous, and like I feel like you're really holding a special space for this connection even through this time of stillness. And if that's what feels like of honor to you and like of balance to you, then that I think is like serving you to do. And yeah, I feel like you just hold a very strong love for this connection, and you're allowing yourself to stay present with what you truly feel called to and what you truly feel meant for. And I feel like you're someone who like, you don't just connect with anyone that comes into your path. You're very intentional about the energies that you let in. And I feel like depending on the situation, like everyone's going to be in a different space with this no contact, but I feel like it's not that you're like purposefully not connecting with other energies from a space of like wanting to be monogamous to this person. I feel like it's truly from a space of like, I think if you felt called to another person, you would interact with that and explore it and see what's up with it. But you feel very clear in like what you feel called to and what you don't. And at this time, I feel like you just have such a, it's like this connection has put your standards on a next level. And it's like if someone wants to come through and they can like match that or like over like even be the next level up from that, then I'm here to see what's up. But if it's anything lower, like I don't have any interest. And I feel like it is putting you in a very powerful space where you're able to have very high standards for yourself and like really know your worth and know what you want. And that ultimately is a gift, and it's letting you be even more discerning than you were before you met this person or like entered this connection. And yeah, I think that's a good energy for you to stand strong in. And it's definitely giving like you refuse to settle for less. I want to go in with, I'm going to get a card from the Messages from the Ancestors Oracle deck, and then I'll get one concluding message from, let's do the Whispers of Love deck. What messages do we have from the ancestors for pile number 3 about this no contact situation? What message do we have for pile number 3? Fire, passion. There is a lot of passion here. There's a lot of like very distinct chemistry between y'all, especially off of what I was getting from the Lion card. Like, I think there's like an unforgettable, undeniable connection here. And so don't worry, like this isn't being forgotten. This isn't going anywhere. If it's like meant to carry through, it has all the energy, all the connection, all the chemistry, all the passion, all the desire, all the love that it needs to get itself through. And you can be patient with that, and you can trust in that. Let's go in with the Whispers of Angel, or Whispers of Love Oracle deck. What is our concluding message for pile number 3? What is our concluding message for pile number 3? Actions speak loudly. Express your love through actions. I feel like when the green light comes, you'll be very sure and clear about anything that you want to communicate, anything you want to act on, and trusting that you have that compass within yourself, and trusting that you'll know when you're ready for that and when that's meant to happen. And if you do feel that way, like, trust it, and trust that you have like whatever you need about you to be able to, like, you have a strong sense of self, you have a strong foundation that you can trust in to be your safety net if you need it. And like, being able to have that strong foundation to move from and take action from is everything that you need. And actions speak loudly. With this, I feel like there will be a calling from either your end or theirs to break this no contact. And I think that in that moment, there's going to be more offered than just words. There's going to be action accompanied by like a tangible energy that you can really like lay your hat on, that is more than just words. Take a chance on love. When we love, our lives are changed forever. I feel like there is a moment approaching where one of y'all will like put your vulnerability at risk to really put yourself out there to the other. And I feel like the other is ready to catch you when that happens. I feel like there is such a like fundamental care for one another that is present, that is able to ride you out on like any action that you are ultimately going to take. And yeah, just trust that you will know when that time has come. It's going to be different for everyone. I feel like for some of y'all, I feel like it will be you taking the action to kind of like break this no contact. For some of you, it will be the other person. But really like trust your intuitive compass with this. And like I was saying earlier, don't do it from a space of restlessness or just wanting to gain information. Like, you will know 110% when your green light is on, and that feels like crystal clear divine timing to do so. Or even the universe may facilitate that moment to like really take place and push you off into it. But yeah, trust yourself. All right, that's what I got for you, pile number 3. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to. If you have a specific question or theme that you want to see a pick a card reading about, please feel free to comment that down below. And yeah, peace out, y'all.